Okay. Hello and Happy New Year. We are a team of architects that work in Bengaluru, and this is our proposal. Let's make a great community. We kindly ask everyone to ensure their microphones are muted. Thank you.
Bengaluru is an attractive city. It has great weather, beautiful lakes and gardens, and is a place of opportunity for people of all ages, genders, and backgrounds. Because of this, it's one of the fastest growing cities in India with a huge demand for infrastructure. An image like this one shows how Bengaluru, on the right side, experiences far more migration than other cities.
The sudden growth has overwhelmed the city. Issues such as garbage dumping, flooding, broken footpaths due to constant construction, and a widening gap in economic classes are common sights. Unfortunately, issues like these are all factors that negatively impact the welfare of communities and citizens.
So how should this diverse city solve its problems? It's simple, together through this diversity in a collaborative, compassionate, creative framework.
Let's see what's happening at 8th Main Banaswadi today. In this road section, you can see the Rajakaluve in the middle and the buildings and roads on either side. Please look at the left half of this diagram. Firstly, excessive construction has reduced our groundwater levels and its capacity to recharge. Because of this, stormwater is forced into the Rajakaluve, causing uncontrollable flooding. Secondly, garbage is dumped along the streets and inside the canal. This creates foul smells and contaminates our water systems. Waste is also diverted to landfills, causing the same issues elsewhere, but at a much larger scale. Finally, a lack of footpaths and lighting make our streets unsafe for pedestrians. Our proposal is simple. We aim to solve a significant part of these issues here itself.
Now on the right side, we can solve this with a few strategies. First, we increase the ground's recharge capacity, which mitigates seasonal flooding. Second, we create a clean, healthy environment by implementing innovative ways of managing waste. And finally, we make our streets and public spaces more accessible, vibrant, and safe. We solve our problems ourselves instead of passing them on to the next community or generation. This plan gives you an overview of the target area, from 3rd Cross Junction on the left to 4th Cross Junction on the right. At 3rd Cross Junction, currently, busy traffic mixes with street vendors and pedestrians in a flood-prone zone. We've turned this into a street food plaza where existing vendors and their customers are safely separated from road traffic as they enjoy the well-shaded food court. A nearby auto stand and bicycle share stand makes this hub easy to access. 3rd A Cross Junction features a focal gathering space equipped with convenient public toilets and drinking water fountains. At 4th Cross Junction is a new branch of Bengaluru's Dry Waste Collection Center initiative, an education hub where caretakers and action groups collaborate towards community-led solutions for waste management.
If you notice, the canal itself is mostly unchanged. The proposal bridges across the canal at key junctions where outdoor community spaces have been placed. This ensures that the community spaces get maximum visibility while not being placed directly in front of any adjacent houses, respecting the privacy of the residents. Doing so also ensures minimal impact on the historic canal. The interventions are easy to implement as they work within the existing framework of roads and services. Let's see these interventions in detail in the following slides.
So what does a day at the new Rajakaluve Park look like? The 3 junctions are connected by vibrant walkways and bridges along the canal, shaded by the existing trees. The ground is finished with hollow pavers, bioswales, and raid gardens planted with native species, which all allow water to be absorbed. This helps recharge groundwater and mitigates the risk of flooding. The pathways weave through a series of play, seating, and gathering spaces for all ages. Bright and colorful signage ensures safe movement, and identification boards for native plants and animal species make the experience of the park interactive, while also bringing awareness to our non-human neighbors.
Hazardous elements such as transformers along the streets have been raised out of reach of children, and the park is uniformly lit with a combination of lower level bollard lighting and an engineered suspended lighting system. This system holds the trees in place and prevents them from leaning towards the building. By positioning all the lights below the canopy line, the lighting remains unobstructed. This lighting creates a charming atmosphere and adds to the beauty of the Rajakaluve while providing good visual security. Finally, the entire park features murals by talented local artists. Let's look at the third A-Cross junction. Bridging across the Rajakaluve here makes the HRBR park directly accessible for residents on the other side of the canal. The neighborhood walkability improves, as does the health and participation of its residents. The Gathering Circle is an outdoor amphitheater, perfect for inclusive community events like a children's book reading, a senior social circle, or a health and wellness exercise for BBMP street sweepers. The entire zone is pedestrian only, well lit, and colorfully decorated by murals. The area is also equipped with a net zero toilet with drinking water fountains.
A space like this aims to serve all user groups. It's convenient for the coconut seller, it provides options for the auto driver, and it's safe for local runners, walkers, and cyclists. Public spaces that are beautiful, functional, and inclusive are proven to instill a sense of ownership and responsibility towards the space. In an exciting step towards decentralizing waste management, the fourth cross junction is home to the new dry waste collection center, a convenient spot for residents and other users to drop off their waste, solving the dumping issue. A good community should facilitate economic and social growth for its members. This is also known as upwards mobility. BBMP waste workers with organizations like Sahas they segregate and upcycle waste into useful items like mats, pots, bags, plates, and more. The products can be sold or used at vendor stalls to make supplemental income for the workers. At communal composting zones, wet waste creates fertilizer for sale and for the upkeep of community gardens and plantings along the canal. The composting is run and maintained by an existing neighborhood nursery that has now been given a dedicated space to sell their plants at the Rajakaluve Park. With guidance from experts like the Daily Dump, the newly appointed gardener educates street vendors and residents on proper wet waste management.
The nursery head, volunteers, local families, and waste workers all engage in this circular relationship. This community manages its own waste simply by having a space to do so. Let's try to do this at a larger scale. What you're seeing here is a plan of Banaswadi with the Rajakaluve running straight down its center. Our proposal on a broad level focuses on connecting the existing large open spaces like the Chelekere, the HRBR Park, and the upcoming BDA Housing Society or the Banaswadi Tank. The Bengaluru's lakes are responsible for holding and recharging massive amounts of stormwater, but their slow disappearance is making the city even more prone to flooding. These existing large open spaces and future developments hold the key to mitigating the city's flooding. They can be designed as seasonal water bodies that fulfill the purpose of these disappearing lakes. This re-envisioning can set an example for other communities to follow. As we connect these spaces, we keep attaching smaller communal spaces such as the street food plaza, the amphitheater, the wet waste management center, sports areas, and so on. These add vibrancy and liveliness to the streets. It's that simple. We rejuvenate our greens, attach communal spaces, and connect them with vibrant streets. Easy. We'd like to end this presentation with 2 more points. First, we have prepared a rough strategy on implementation and phasing, as well as stakeholders and funding. If anyone is interested, please let us know during the Q&A round. Secondly, we'd like to share an observation a community representative made during the workshop. He said, at the end of the day, you're planners and designers and can only do the foundational work for us. After that, it is our responsibility to respect the space and use it correctly. An important part of that is a change in the attitude of the people here.
We could not agree more. That is why our interventions focus on giving a platform to all user groups to interact and work together. Our hope is that all of this collective action, along with this historic water body, instills a shared identity in the Banaswadi Rajakaluve people.
A community that shares the same spaces, takes care of its own waste, takes pride in its diversity, its public spaces, its caretakers, its artists, its flora and fauna, and its effort to heal Bengaluru.
A community that is inclusive, accessible, accommodating, charming, and safe. Let's make a great community. We had a great time sharing our work with you, and we hope you enjoyed listening to us. Thank you.